Hey guys, I'm making biscuits out of leftover mashed potatoes that I made the other night. They're homemade mashed potatoes, and the recipe is for 8 biscuits. I don't have the measured amounts yet because I'm using my phone to record the video, so I'll have to put that in the comment section. But we start off with a big bowl. This is what we're going to start off. We have a baking sheet lined with some parchment paper, and our oven is set to 450 degrees. What we're supposed to do first is we're supposed to add our dry ingredients, which is flour, salt, baking powder, sugar. Give that a little stir. I think I'm just going to use a fork initially, actually. Now my mashed potatoes I made the other night have milk, butter, cream cheese, garlic powder, salt and pepper in them. So, and some cheddar cheese too. So those are already like pretty awesome. But certainly you could just do regular old mashed potatoes and do this. So this is stirred up. It says the next thing you want to do is make oh no, first we have to add our butter. Sorry guys. I do remember this. It's a quarter stick of cold butter. I mean a quarter cup, so that is a half a stick. Sorry about the confusion there. And we're gonna add that in. And we are supposed to make sure that we smush it into little pea-sized pieces. You know, like when you do a pie crust or something. I'm just going to get this kind of small to start with, so it's not as hard. I have seen people grate their butter, their cold butter, instead of having to smash it all up with a fork or a pastry smashy thing. So that's certainly something you can do. I've never done that personally, so I can't say how fabulous that works or not, but honestly, it really does look like it works pretty good. You can see that this is mixed in pretty good. It's kind of pea-sized, real small little bits of the butter. I just used one of these to smash it up. You could certainly just use a fork. That works perfectly well. Okay, the next thing we do is we make a little hole in the middle. It says, I'm sure that you can do this however you want. That's not really crucial. In this, I have milk, water, and 1 egg mixed together. Pour that in. And just give this a mix until you get it kind of mixed in, and then we'll be adding our mashed potatoes. Okay, you can see what it looks like. This is just the liquid and the dry ingredients. I still have my mashed potatoes over here. It's 1.5 cups of mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna add these in. These are pretty thick, so it'll probably take a little bit of mixing. And then after that, we're going to get our counter floured up, and we have to kind of do a little bit of kneading, only like 6 or 8 times the recipe says, so it's certainly not that big of a deal as far as how much you have to knead them. I'll come back and show you that. All right, you can see this is all mixed in. It's pretty thick, right? We're gonna get the counter floured here, and then I'll move my stuff and I'll show you how we knead it. Okay guys, let me move my one cutting board here so you can see. This is my floured counter space. I don't have like a lot of space, so I work with what I got. And I'm just gonna dump this potatoy dough out on my flour. Now, when I make mashed potatoes, I leave my skins on. So if you see anything brown and weird in my mashed potatoes, that's just the skins. I don't know exactly how that will turn out in the biscuits. I don't know if that will be a crispy burnt weirdness or if it'll be rather delicious. I guess we'll find out together. All right. My hands are clean. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on here. Now it says just 6 or 8 times. And you just kind of fold it. It's not like regular bread dough that you're trying to, you know, kill. You just kind of pull it over. Pull it over. Pull it over. And if you need, if it gets too sticky, you can add some extra flour. That's probably been more than the amount of time that you're supposed to do. So I will just do a couple more. This is what creates the air pockets in your biscuits. Now, just add a little more flour over here. And remember I said that this makes 8 biscuits. I was going to double it because I would like to make more and I certainly have enough mashed potatoes, but I thought, what if it's gross? Then, you know, there I am. It says you want it to be about 1/3 of an inch thick. And so I'm just going to push it out. I don't think we need to roll it out. Personally, the dough is really easy to work with. And then if you have a biscuit cutter, awesome. If you do not, like myself, you could just use like a glass. Just a glass. And then once you cut your biscuits out, you're going to put them on your parchment lined baking sheet. I think that's probably good. We'll see. I'm using this cup. We will see what we get. My cats are around, so beware. I might get a little extra out of this. All right, whether I was supposed to or not, it looks like I got 10. So we're gonna go with 10. And then of course we have a lot of dough left over, which I could probably get a few more biscuits out of. So I will probably do that also. And get these all on the counter. Not on the counter, hello. On the pan. And then we'll get them in the oven. I'll be right back. I'm going to put down a second sheet of parchment paper because if you can see, since I'm going to have a couple extra biscuits, I'm kind of running out of space. If you take your piece of parchment paper and just sort of smush it up and then unfold it, it will lay down for you in whatever baking dish or pan you want a lot easier than when it's straight out of the box. Okay, guys, I don't know if you can see this, but I have way more than 8 here. I followed the recipe exactly. I got 4, 8, 10, 12, 14. Really, I have about 16. And they are cute as heck, though. And you're supposed to brush them a little bit of milk before you pop them in the oven. I have a weird long one with my leftover dough. We'll see what that does. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this turns out because it literally doubled the amount that it said it was supposed to make. But all the reviews on the recipe were great. They said they made big, large biscuits, real fluffy and moist. So we're going to see. You've got your oven at 450 preheated. This is a large baking sheet. Could have been larger apparently, or I could have used two had I known. And it's got some parchment paper on it. And I'm brushing each one of these with just a little bit of milk. And now I'm going to pop them in the oven. This is what they look like. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Wish me luck. Guys, while we're waiting for the biscuits to cook, I just wanted to show you what I'm going to serve with it. I'm going to heat up a bunch of this different types of breakfast meats. Got some thick cut bacon, and then some eggs, and people can make their own breakfast sandwich. So here's my biscuits. These are really good, very soft and very moist, but they did not rise, and I think that's because my mashed potatoes were very heavy, thick mashed potatoes. These are still warm out of the oven, but you can see the layers and they taste really good. So I think I might try this recipe again with maybe a different type of mashed potato.